Good morning and welcome to what will be the last vlog of this term. For those who don't know me, I'm Kieron and I'm a first year student here at the University of Cambridge and I'm a member of Homerton College. The vlogs will also of course be back next term. But at least for now, I've got two lectures today, one for tort law and one for criminal law. So I'm heading over to the civic site now. So I've had my lectures for today. The criminal lecture finished off on theft and I think it finished off on robbery as well. So we've got burglary, fraud and criminal damage left to do in the next lecture. And the tort law lecture, I should say, continued on looking at damages and calculation. And there's a talk on, it's by Lady Hale. She is the President of the UK Supreme Court, which is just amazing. It's definitely as a law student, it'd be amazing to listen to her. We're heading down there now. Her talks are full.
Decades now. The problem is always progress, and that's true of a lot of professions. Because for a lot of professions, you have to...
So I'm back from the talk at the Union by Lady Hale, and that was fantastic. So she talked initially about her career and up until basically being President of the Supreme Court. And there was questions by the individual who was hosting the talk with Lady Hale, and then they opened it to the floor of the House to ask questions. It was just fascinating. It was fascinating. And it was a pleasure just to be able to go and just listen to what she had to say. It was just brilliant. I'm probably going to get on with a little bit of work. I want to start typing up at least a first draft, or at least for my civil law problem question that I've got due in next Thursday, and there's a couple of other bits and pieces that I need to get done as well. I've been able to do my first draft for my civil law essay, which I'm pleased with, and then I just looked at making sure I've got all the cases down for the tort law supervision next Tuesday. We've just been having prees, and we'll be about to go to Lola's, which is again another club in Cambridge, so that should be good. And yeah, that's the plan for tonight. So the music at Lowe's was good last night, and it was just an overall quite a good night. It's Friday, so I've got my 9 o'clock lecture, and I've got two lectures today. One starting at 9 o'clock. I've got a constitutional lecture and a civil law lecture, so I'll be heading over to the civic site now for those. So I've had my lectures for today. The constitutional lecture continued looking at the big picture, so looking at obviously bringing everything together that we've learned over the academic year and looking how they fit together, or in some cases don't fit together. And the civil law lecture continued looking at the law of delict, including actions under the Lex Aquilia. There was what was on last week, so for those who've watched my previous vlog, you'll know I went to something at the St Andrew's the Great Church. It's like a religious talk, discussion kind of thing, so I'm going to go to that again with Henry again, and anyone else obviously who decides to go, so that should be good. I've just come back from the talk. It was quite interesting. So it was, like I said, on loneliness. So they had a guest speaker again, then we talked about it between ourselves, and then questions were asked back to the speaker. So that was quite good. Henry was there, and Astrid was there as well, so shout out to Astrid. Make sure, by the way, she is another YouTuber, so make sure you follow her channel, link in the description below. Back at Homerton, as you can see, got some work to get out this afternoon, but it is Friday, so there's one thing I need to do first. Welcome again to the laundry segment of this vlog. My clothes are behind me in the white bag, as you can see. I've had to top up my card again, so for those who've seen my vlogs, you'll have seen this card before. But for those who are new, this is the laundry card that we now use. So we top up online now rather than putting coins into the machine. So there's a machine over here. I'll quickly just show you it. So this is the machine here. I need to register it on there so that the money's actually on the card, and then obviously I can then use the machine, put my clothes in, put the what I need to put in obviously for the cycle, and then I've got to wait 40 minutes. So what I'll probably be doing is go to the buttery and get on with some work while I wait for the cycle to be complete. So a few things happened this afternoon and this evening, so I'll just give you a bit of a rundown. First of all, once I did the laundry and I went to collect it and hang it up, stayed in the buttery and got on with doing my first draft for my taught essay, that is on private nuisance. Then got something from the hall for dinner. It's Friday, so it was fish and chips, which was delicious. And then afterwards I did go to the library and started to do a first draft for my essay question for constitutional law, that's on human rights, which is quite interesting. And then I took a break. I went to the buttery and they had an open mic night on, and it was all in aid for International Women's Day, and and it was for charity as well. So they had a related charity that you could donate to, and it was nice. I think it was such an important thing to do. So they had readings and they had people singing afterwards. Did go back to the library, and I've managed to mostly do a rough first draft for the constitutional essay, which I'm pleased with. Yeah, I managed to get most of what I hope to get done today, which I'm happy with. So yeah, getting late now. The weekend has now arrived, so no lectures or supervisions, but I've got some other work that I need to get on with. One of the things I need to do by the end of today, what I would like to get done is get my criminal problem questions sent off, because that is due in tomorrow. So if I can get that done today, that would be brilliant. So I did two things whilst I was in the library. I first of all consolidated some notes for Roman law, and then I've been adding to this revision table that I've been making for tort law, so I added my notes on defences. I'm just taking a break now and get something to eat and probably continue on with some more work in the library. It's quite a nice day actually. Good news, I've been able to submit all of the problem questions that I need to do, including the one for criminal law that is due in soon. So I'm pleased with that. I've come back to my room. I need to go to the shops because I need some bread. Have a break because I am a little bit tired, so I might maybe just rest a bit and then see what else I need to get on with, I should say, in the library. Whilst I was in the library, I mainly consolidated some notes on human rights. So that was one of the topics we've recently been looking at in constitutional law. I've just come back from the buttery. I briefly went there where I was just chatting with a couple of the lawyers. Probably going to go to bed now. I'm quite tired. Been a long day, but productive. I managed to get certainly managed to get some essays submitted, which I'm pleased with. Good morning everyone, and like I said, it's the last Sunday today, so that means it'll be the last Sunday brunch. But before that, I'm probably just going to head over to the library and start to get on for a little bit of work, especially preparing for the tort law supervision on Tuesday, and then the civil law supervision I've got on Thursday. I've just been doing a few things in the library, so I looked over the questions for the tort supervision on Tuesday, in particular the last question, which is what we're going to be mainly focusing on. I've also, after, had brunch, which was nice, although we weren't in the hall, it was in the buttery, but because there was no seats in the buttery for all of us, we just went back to the West House and sat in the corridor, but it was nice, wasn't it? The brunch was delicious. Afterwards, I just got on with consolidating some notes for criminal law and just put them into. I've got a separate table for criminal law, more for like the actual like cases and facts, and then I've got a separate one for the analysis, so from the different articles and things like that. And this is again to help with my revision. So I've just been doing that. I'm working on attempts at the moment. I've just done notes on duress and necessity. I'm heading out to the Cambridge Union because I have an interview. I've applied for the generalist position that they've got for Easter, I believe. So I've got, I think it's about a 15-minute interview for that. So yeah, wish me luck. A couple of things. First of all, the interview wasn't too bad, so there was 4 people there. 2 of them asked questions, just on kind of like why the union, why the position that you've applied for, things like that. So I think it was okay, but it's always difficult to say, and I'll probably find out at some point whether or not I've got the position. Fingers crossed. And I came back and just got on with some more revision notes making. So I was doing the tables that I've got for criminal law. I was focusing more on that. So as you just saw there, I decided to tick off some of the things that I need that I've been doing this weekend off on my big to-do list. So I've got 5 sets of to-do lists. 4 of them are for the modules, and then I've got obviously one for the half module, and then just a general to-do list. And this has just got what supervisions I've had left, what note taking I still needed to make, what revision tools I need, what topics need revision tools done for them. So I've just been, as you can see, I'll just show you a close up, give it a close up there if you can see that. As you can see, some ticks going on there, which I'm pleased with. Still some non-ticks. Obviously some things are, for example, supervisions that'll be next term, so obviously they won't be ticked till then. It's Monday now, so I've got 2 lectures, so I'm heading over to the Sidwick site now. For those, they don't start till 10, but I normally like to read over the lecture notes just beforehand, just to give myself an idea of what we'll be looking at. Yeah, not many lectures left, which obviously means that the term is coming to an end. So I've just had my lectures. The tort law lecture finished off looking at how the courts handle death, essentially, in cases, so where the claimant might die, what actions may be brought, and it also looked at contributions, so 2 defendants contributing to a tort, how that works. And yeah, that was the final lecture for tort law on the substantive, i.e. like on the content. There might be like a revision one next term, but that was the last, essentially the last tort lecture. And then we also had our last constitutional law lecture as well, so that finished off in the big picture. We looked at a key case, the Evans 2015 case, and we just got some revision tips as well. But yeah, that was the last constitutional lecture as well. God, everything is just coming to an end. It's crazy. I decided to consolidate and put into my revision table the notes on remedies, so the set of lectures for tort law that we've just finished. That did take longer than expected, hence why it's like after 12 now, so I was determined to get that done. It's done, which I'm pleased with, but obviously it is late now, so I'll probably be going to bed. Okay, so I got up, I was getting myself ready, and then the fire alarm went off. Yeah, the fire alarm went off. Luckily I had most of the things ready, so I just quickly packed that. And then we had to go outside. Wasn't expecting that. Anyway, the fire alarm is now obviously stopped. I'm heading over to my lectures now. I've got 2 lectures on today. I've got my tort supervision this afternoon. That's on defences available in the law of tort, so things like contributory negligence. So I'm probably going to a couple of things beforehand. I might just have maybe consolidate more of my criminal law notes, but then I'll have a look at just making sure I've got everything I need for the supervision, which I'll be heading over to probably around about 4 o'clock-ish, and that's because it's at Jesus College. I'm heading over to Orleans Jesus College now for my tort supervision. Good news. You'll know that some of you obviously know that I applied for the generalist position at the Cambridge Union. So I had my interview the other day, and good news, I got it. I didn't expect to get it, but I've got it, so I'm pleased. Very happy about that. Just thought I would let you know, give you an update on that. Yeah, like I said, got my tort supervision. So I've had my last supervision for tort law this term. There's more supervisions next term, but this is the last one for this term at least. I'm probably just going to go to the library and just get on with some consolidated notes. I want to finish some consolidated notes for criminal law and other bits and pieces as well. I did manage to get the notes I want to consolidate done in the library. It did take a while, but there was quite a lot to consolidate, so I was obviously bringing together my notes from my lectures and from my supervisions as well. The idea is to bring it all together, and then I put it into my tables that I've got to help me for my revision. Probably going to go to bed now. Been a kind of long day. Obviously, I had a couple of lectures, supervision, and I've had obviously other bits of work on. But managed to get what I want to get done, which I'm pleased with. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. So this is actually going to be part 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out my other videos as well. And I should hopefully see you in the next part.